everyone. I'm Lauren Johnson-Norris. I'm a criminal defense attorney, and I've been following the Karen Read trial. The jury has spoken. Karen Read is not guilty. Not guilty of murder, not guilty of manslaughter, not guilty of leaving the scene of a fatal accident. And that's not just a rejection of the prosecution's charges. It's a rejection of their entire story. Because this case didn't just fall short. It collapsed under the weight of its own witnesses. Now, from the very beginning, the state asked the jury to accept a version of events that didn't line up. There were too many leaps, too many assumptions, and when you don't have rock-solid evidence, credibility becomes everything. And that's where the prosecution lost this case. It wasn't just the defense pointing out the flaws. It was the state's own witnesses doing real damage in real time. So let's take Trooper Proctor, the lead investigator, whose text messages and conduct showed real bias, arrogance, and immaturity. This wasn't a neutral search for truth. It looked like a man trying to win a case no matter what the evidence said. And then there was the prosecution's own expert who got caught lying on his resume. He overstated his qualifications and his education. That's devastating. Because if your expert, the person meant to ground the case in science, isn't telling the truth about his own credentials, why should anyone believe his conclusions? Now, these aren't small errors. They're credibility killers. And in court, credibility is everything. When you lose it, you lose the case. And the jury wasn't buying the story. They were there to weigh the facts, and the facts fell apart. And what we saw in this trial is what happens when the government fails to uphold its own standards. Not because the defense was flashy, or not because the jurors didn't care, but because the people tasked with proving the case didn't do their job the right way. Karen Read, she's not a folk hero. She's not above scrutiny. But she didn't need to prove her innocence. The state had to prove guilt, and they couldn't because their timeline didn't add up. Their lead investigator was compromised, and their own expert got caught lying under oath. You guys, reasonable doubt isn't a technicality. It's a protection. It's what we rely on when the people in power push a case that doesn't hold together. Now, I've followed this trial closely. I've spoken about it on national platforms, and I'll just say this. Justice only works when it's grounded in truth, not reputation, not pressure, and not pride. This was a credibility war, and the state lost that war. So congratulations to the defense, and if you like what you heard here today, subscribe to the channel. Thanks.